All right, people, what the hell is going on? I just got through watching this stupid ass movie called Smile. I don't usually watch shit like that. And this kind of proves why I don't watch shit like this. Not a movie I enjoyed watching. I spent half that movie wishing that it went the fuck off. And you know what I'm saying? I did. I spent half the movie wishing that this shit was just off. Like shit. I already started watching it. I ain't got shit else to do, so fuck it. Oh, but what I want to show y'all right now. This shit. Fucking Uber Eats. I ordered some kind of blah 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 spam, and it's a fucking spam sushi shit. Which I'm like, okay, the sushi rice might be alright, the spam might be alright. But you see, it's wrapped in fucking seaweed, and I could smell the fucking seaweed from fucking here. Makes me. I almost gagged and threw up. Seaweed is fucking gross. It just fucking is. It is. Now this is. I bought that. That was just a waste of fucking $4 right there. Cats gonna eat that shit. I ate some of the little rice. This is some barbecue. This is Hawaiian place. They got this. You know, you see the some kind of Hawaiian barbecue chicken. Up top is the macaroni salad and rice. And this, you know, this buy one get one free. Y'all know my size, and you see the size of this. I mean, this one thing is like $16. So I wouldn't buy it unless it was buy one, get one. So I still end up spending like $24, but I'm not going to eat all of that. And there's another one over there. And, you know, it'll last me through tomorrow, along with whatever else I got in there. I just wanted to do that quick right. But anyway, this fucking stupid ass movie. I watched it. Movie went off. So, all right, let me go watch some reviews. I'm watching the reviews, and I want the reviews to be off. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I hit the little remote thing to see the, the time progression. I'm only halfway through the fucking review. I'm like, shit. And, just no interest at all. Usually I watch a movie, I want to go see the response. And most people think that it's okay. I only watched 2 reviews. But I didn't see no reviews that was saying, at least on the front of it, where it was like, this movie sucks and all this other shit. Cinematography and shit like that. The movie is shot well and blah, 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 blah. I guess that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the movie looks bad. But the main thing that got on my nerves watching this fucking movie is the fact that can't nobody fucking talk. Not really just stuck to this movie. That shit irritates me across all entertainment where motherfuckers just can't say shit. Because the movie has to, drag along for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the reviews, they talking about this scene right here was cut out, and this scene right here was cut out, and this scene right here was cut out. Blah, 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 and then this character didn't get no progression because all the scenes was cut. I'm like, you know what? If they'd have cut all that shit that they had in the movie and stuck that shit in there, it'd be a whole lot better. Instead of having somebody non-explain shit for 30, 45 goddamn minutes, how about putting the shit that actually has some kind of arc to it in the fucking movie? You spend all this time with this bitch, and she can't explain what the fuck is going on with her. And she know what the fuck is going on with it, but she can't explain it to nobody. In universe, these are degreed, grown-ass fucking people. And they can't fucking articulate what the fuck they want. That shit is irritating to watch when I'm watching a movie and motherfuckers can't articulate what the fuck needs to be said when you right there in front of the motherfucker you need to say the shit to. Say it! Ah! I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. It's frustrating to watch that kind of shit. You know, and that goes through all the shit I watch. When I see shit like that, I'm like, man, come on, man, just spit it the fuck out. You can start moving the shit along. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But yeah, all kind of weird ass shit going because it's a basically a curse movie. It's like The Ring or The Grudge or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I first saw this. I saw the. I don't remember where I saw the fucking trailer. I don't remember where the fuck I saw the trailer. Maybe a couple times. Whenever the fuck it came out, I don't even know how long ago that was. Probably sometime last year. But that one trailer, they had some creepy ass shit where this bitch walked up to the car and all you could see was this when she walked up to the car, then the goddamn head flipped down like that. Like, say this is somebody's head. And somebody's sitting at your car, you can't see nothing with this, and then her head went bloop. I was like, ah! I was like, oh man, that's creepy as hell. Ugh. I am not watching that. Well, I watched the movie and it don't matter how many times I see it, because the more you see it, the more dumb it look. I'm like, that it looked like whatever they had fall down. You know what I'm saying? Like that bitch head just came down like that. It didn't even look like it was the size of a real fucking head when it actually happened. If you keep watching it, it's just like that. But it's still fucking creepy. Like, how the fuck? And you see it coming in the movie because it's one of those obvious ass moments in the trailer that you know in the movie when you see it coming, you're this right, this finna happen. I'm like, man, that probably got people to see it, you know, to get in the movies to go see it, to want to see it or whatever the fuck. But that's one of them jump scares. It's not even a jump scare. It's not a jump scare. It's a fucking creep out. Cause they have. I ain't gonna even say jump scares. They have jumps in this movie. Ain't none of this shit gonna scare you. If you've been watching fucking horror movies for the last however many goddamn years, you already know what's gonna fucking happen in these movies. This is nothing new. This bitch walking through the fucking house, ain't no sound. It's like The Quiet Place. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no sound. She up in the house just doing whatever the fuck she was doing. Bah! I knew that was coming. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you create a void, we know you gonna fill that motherfucker with something. Might not know what it is, but it's gonna be a jump because it's a horror movie. So you gotta be smart with that kind of shit. It's a bunch of those jumps in this movie, and none of them are really scary jumps. I think one happened around that time where I think she was on a phone or some shit. And she turned to the side and there was a bitch face right here, and like, ah! Okay, and you know, it's not the fact that it scared me watching the shit. It's like, it's one of them. If I was in that goddamn situation, I turned to the side. There was a fucking dead blue face or whatever the fuck that was right there. Like, yeah. I would have shit my heart out my ass. But it's a creepy movie, and I thought it was gonna get better, like right along the middle, but right before the end. And I don't go into how many acts and all this other stuff, but right along the middle, and when she figured out what the fuck was going on, and started putting shit together, and was trying to get to the point where she was gonna, you know, try to do something about it, figure out what she can do about it. I was like, okay, this is starting to get it got stupid again. I'm just like, the dialogue in this movie is stupid, man. It is. It's dumb. The dialogue in this movie is you know, you can't watch movies expecting for them to say and do what the fuck you would do, but god damn it, man. The shit is just fucking stupid. The shit that they're just like, you know, people in the reactions and shit to people. Like, she went to this one broad house whose husband had the little curse or whatever. Once they figured out how it was linked to all these different goddamn people, how it passed along and all that other kind of shit. And she was asking this woman about her husband who had died from that shit. And I guess she went in there posing as a reporter or some shit. So she looking and she asked, did she have a name of the woman that her husband probably mentioned or said something before. The woman that let her in the house to see all this shit, because this dude had a whole room full of weird ass shit. He had Drew or smiles and all kind of stupid ass shit. And then she asked, she's like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And she trying to get some information, trying to figure shit out. You done already let this woman all up in your house asking about you. You done show her the pictures and all kind of shit, and show her the picture of the fucking dead man. Her husband was dead or whatever the fuck. She had to identify the body and had a picture of it. You know, just showed him that shit, which most people don't even show on the YouTube videos. They usually blur that shit out. I saw the face. It's kind of like a fucked up screw face or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck happened to his fucking face or whatever. I don't know. I didn't bother to even scroll back and even look at it again. I'm like, whatever. But you know, and she was like, "Who are you? Some kind of freak? Some kind of shit?" You know, and just get the fuck out of my house. Get out! Ah! What was that? That should have been the reaction when the bitch was at the front door asking you about this shit to start with. Somebody came in your house showing obvious knowledge about what the fuck happened to your husband, asking a couple of questions, and then you go off and kick the bitch out after she was deep off in your house, all in your husband's bedroom and shit, after you'd invited her in there to look at shit. Just that kind of stuff. It don't make sense. It don't make sense for the reaction it would have. Her husband, the main character's husband, I don't remember that bitch named Rose or some shit. I'm like, her husband is just, he ain't a bad guy, but it's like, he the person they were saying that all of his shit is cut out the movie. So all you see of him is his reaction to her going through the shit that they going through, that she going through. So that dude is fucking useless. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it is. You notice that in the movie. I was like, dude don't do nothing. He ain't around, and when it is around, they whole shit is uneasy. You know what I'm saying? Their whole shit is just uneasy and shit because you only see him after she done already got fucked up with the curse shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. So, you know, I ain't gonna say it's a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? The ending is kind of stupid. I don't know why. When I was looking for the reviews, it was a whole bunch of shit. A whole bunch of videos that were saying, smile, blah, 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 whatever the title is. Plus the explanation for the ending and blah, blah, blah. Ending explained, blah. I'm like, why all these ending explained? I just watched this movie. That ending don't need to be explained. It ain't like some complex ass shit happened at the end of this fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? It really don't. I mean, it really ain't. There's nothing fucking spectacular that happens at the end of this fucking movie to where you have to explain this shit to somebody unless they didn't watch the fucking movie to start with. That's the only way you would have to explain this shit. It's cut and fucking dry. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's cut and fucking dry at the end of this movie what the fuck happened. You know, she found a way to deal with the fucking demon of whatever the curse or whatever the fuck it is. And then, you know, her little ex-boyfriend, the little ex, not a fiance, but the ex-dude, you know, was helping her, because he a cop, find all these other people. She was at her old house where her mom died and all kind of other bullshit. You want to see that shit, you can watch the movie. But, and I guess a whole bunch of this shit was the guilt from her mom dying, because she didn't help her mom when her mom was dying when she was like 10 years old. So she been carrying that shit with her for her whole goddamn life, because the trauma entity is what they call whatever the hell it is. It ain't really have a name, but it's the trauma entity, you know, which is, you know, it's stupid. So, and it drives people to kill themselves. You know, if you want to get rid of the curse, you have to kill somebody You have to kill somebody gruesomely, you know. You have to kill somebody kind of gruesomely, and it has to be witnessed. That means somebody has to see. Like, if you was gonna get rid of that curse, you would have to go, like, just murder a motherfucker at the gas station with a bunch of people watching, and somebody that watched that shit will get traumatized by it, and they would end up with the curse, and you wouldn't have it no goddamn more. I didn't make the fucking movie. That's it. Or you kill yourself in front of somebody. You kill yourself, and whoever witnessed you do that, end up with the curse, which is how she got it. You know, at the hospital she worked at, one of her patients killed herself in front of her, and that's how she ended up with the fucking curse. And it's like so many days. You get so many days, about a week or whatever the fuck it is, before, if you don't pass the curse on to somebody else, then, you know, you end up having to kill yourself or some shit. I don't know. I'm not gonna dig into it any more than that. But at the end of the day, she couldn't really get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't get rid of it. So I think she was trying to get off by herself somewhere so she can kill herself without nobody or fucking around. But she was at like an old childhood house, and the ex-boyfriend guy, the cop guy, showed up, and she was sitting down with that smile on their face, because all the people all the people that's got this shit, if the demon take them over or whatever the fuck, or the demon is in your head, you know, because that happens a lot in this movie too. It's a lot of shit that happened in a movie that's not fucking happening. It's happening in this broad head, and it's, you know, the demon uses somebody as an avatar, you know what I'm saying, you know, in your mind, and they had that stupid ass smile. Just, you know, it's kind of creepy, but yeah, whatever. It happened a couple times, but it's like, But she couldn't get rid of it, so she set up. The demon had already taken her over. At the end of the movie, so the demon big giant demon crawling in some bitch mouth. That part is just, you know, I'm like, come on now. But she's sitting there, and the ex-boyfriend come in there, Rose, trying to get her attention. She turned around, and she done poured gasoline and shit all over herself, and then she's smiling. So at that point, the demon is in control, so the demon set themselves on fire, burn them up, and the dude was sitting there watching as it happened. So the demon is going into him. The curse is going to him. And that's the end of the movie. Roll credits. Why would you have to explain that? You know what I'm saying? Anybody in that curse, if they kill themselves in front of you, I mean, you get that in the movie. One other guy was kind of philosophizing that, you know, maybe he would be able to do something about it, because he did some investigating away from her about the curse. So he knew about all the cases and how all that shit went. So basically he know how to pass the curse along. You know what I'm saying? You know, but that's something that's headcanon. You have to kind of make that shit up on your fucking own. But I was like, this movie is off. And I'm like, I'm so glad. And I'm pretty get ready to watch another movie. That was on Paramount Plus. So I'm getting ready to watch another movie. And since I watched that, I guess I'm finna watch another movie had kind of popped up behind it. You know how it is. You watch something on the streaming service, then they pop up some shit behind it. So it was a movie called Orphan. The Orphan. That movie. I'm probably gonna watch that since it popped. It just popped up, or else I'm just gonna be scrolling for 30-40 minutes trying to find something to watch, because I generally don't watch movies. It's always documentaries or some let's plays on YouTube or some shit like that. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna eat my barbecue chicken. That's gonna be the second part of this video. So I'm gonna catch y'all in a little bit. All right, people. What the hell is going on? It is the next morning. I'm just waking up not too long ago. And I did watch the movie Orphan before I went to bed, and that movie was disappointing. It was fucking disappointing. This has not been a good movie night. It just gave me something that I could shoot a fucking video on. But and it's fucking cold in here, man. Shit, got that temperature drop. Yeah, I'm like shit, man. It's disappointing because it could have been done. The premise of the movie. It was like it was a good idea in somebody's head. They just didn't put it together right. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put it together right. Because shit started happening in that movie. I was just like, okay, all right. Well, how the hell is this gonna turn out? Because it wasn't too many ways for shit to turn out in that movie. It's just like, man. So at the beginning of the movie, I'm watching it. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to a point where you have to actually sit and pay attention to the movie. You can't be fucking around on your phone and no shit like that. And it's like, okay, this little girl, this is a little girl in this family, and she's talking to a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Talking to a therapist. This is how I had to put the movie together. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else can watch this shit and come up with something totally different. They got this little girl talking to a therapist. And, she's talking and blah, blah, blah. And the therapist is kind of figuring out that, it seems like she's performing. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just talking to the therapist, that she's performing. And then the therapist ended up talking to the parents, and the parents says, well, she's been gone for a while, and that's why the girl has an accent now. She was abducted for a while, taken off somewhere. She's just coming back home, getting back to the house. However the fuck that happened, I have no idea. So they was like, well, she's been gone, because the girl was real young when she went off, and she ended up coming back. So she got abducted somehow and ended up in another fucking country or some shit, and then she came back. And since she spent a whole lot of time growing up in other countries, she had a fucking accent. By the time she get back, and that makes sense. I'm pretty sure if I was to go stay in England for probably even a year, that I would pick some of that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Taking it, that's probably something that I would fucking do on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Go over there. I would and try to pick up a little bit of an English accent or some shit. I'm amazed by how people do that shit in the movies. And speaking of that, if you don't really pay attention, how many of your motherfucking folks don't fucking all your little stars and heroes on TV and all them motherfuckers is from across the motherfucking pond. You know what I'm saying? They are from across the goddamn pond. They're not American, and I'm including a whole bunch of niggas in that shit too. Oh man, when I start seeing all that shit, I'm like, man, what? It was another one. It was a black dude. I can't think of his fucking name. I know they got Mordo. The guy that played Mordo on in Doctor Strange, the little black wizard. You know what I'm saying, and the one he was fighting against in Doctor Strange 2, and that same hood ass gangster dude in Four Brothers. With Andre 3000 and fucking Tyrese and Marky Mark. That movie's pretty good. But the head little antagonist in that movie, that it's the same dude. Yeah, you listen to him talk. Yeah, he ain't from around here. He not from fucking around here. There's a whole bunch of them motherfuckers. Everybody know Idris Elba is fucking English, but It's a bunch, man. It's just the fact that you could pick up, if you wanted to pick up an accent, and folks in over there, they tend to pick up fucking accents pretty goddamn well. They do it all the goddamn time. But anyway, yeah, so this little girl come back and some kind of way end up in the family, and it was one guy, a neighbor or some shit, that came into the house and spoke to the girl. And I'm guessing that they was probably friendly way back along, some old Asian dude. And come back into the house. He came to the house to visit. They was at the table eating dinner. They got a big fucking ass mansion, you know what I'm saying? So she came into the house. The girl is dressed up, got the double pigtails or whatever the fuck. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. But they showed, why am I doing this with like a flashlight? The guy came in and spoke to the little girl. And the girl was kind of flippant. You know what I'm saying? And the what's his name? The girl, the guy that came in, he was like, well, it's good to have you back home and blah, 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 and something like that. And she said something to him. It wasn't rude, but it was short. And then I think she left the table and ended up coming back. And the dude was getting ready to leave. And he said, like the same, he said, it's good to have you back home and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you already said that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and everybody was kind of like, you friendly with somebody as a little kid, you know what I'm saying? You expect the same treatment, however many years later. Motherfuckers might not remember you the same, you know what I'm saying? But that dude, he was kind of figured something was kind of off or some shit like that. I don't know. They didn't really go into that a whole lot. But he ended up coming back to the house. The parents had went off somewhere and left the brother and the sister in the house. And that guy came by, like he was getting ready to visit the parents or whatnot, but they wasn't there, and the dude said, well, let me use the restroom before I go. So he went in to use the restroom, knowing, you go in and use the restroom, but he got time to go through this whole fucking mansion. He ended up picking up this record player that I guess was in the girl room. Had like some fingerprints on the album that was on there. So he took the album, put it in a plastic bag, took it off, took it back home, and then they showed him at the house doing this fucking what's that? The fingerprint thing. And right in the middle of that, he started thinking, and he was like, well, who are you? Thinking to himself, you know what I'm saying? Because he kind of figured out that the girl wasn't the girl, So all of a sudden, he's just like, little girl's behind, stabbing the fuck out of his head. Stabbed that dude about 30 goddamn times in his fucking back. He laying on the ground. He steady talking. Then all of a sudden, somebody come in the room and just start blam, 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 shooting the fuck out of him to make sure he was dead. And the little girl was like, what the? And then it was the mom. The mom had went over there. She had went over there to kill the dude because she kind of realized that the dude realized it wasn't her. So she went over there to kill the dude, which the dude was going to die anyway. And then the mom came back from whatever the fuck they was doing, shot the fuck out of the dude to kill him, to make sure he was dead. And come to find out, the mom already knew. Matter of fact, the brother already knew that wasn't their daughter. The dad didn't know, though. The dad didn't know. But they knew because the brother had killed the little girl however long ago. The brother had killed the little girl, his little sister. And the mom and the sister knew. And I'm just like, okay, all right. So the mom told the little girl, she's like, I don't know who you are, but we trying to keep this little family together. So you gonna play this role because I already know you ain't who you say you are. So you gonna do this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, I got leverage on you, basically. So she still had to go around dressed like this girl. this little girl at that. And I think before that, they had showed some shit that, you know, people watching this movie might be kind of like, what the hell is going on with this? What's really going on here? Because once the little girl got back, they showed her with the dad. The dad had went to this little room, his little art room where he do his painting and all kind of other stuff. And the girl had all, you know, could draw and paint and all kind of shit like that. And she wanted to draw. The dad was like, you know, what do you like to use? She was like, charcoal. And she was like, well, what do you want to paint? She's like, I want to paint you. But she wanted him to paint. She wanted him to paint him doing something, like looking at something or something. He was like, I don't, you know, it was like maybe a picture or a painting or something that he did that kind of upset him. You know what I'm saying? You know, probably had something to do with his daughter or something, like way back, you know, when he first figured out he was sorrow. You know, he ain't really want to be stuck in that space. So she's just, just drawing, doing whatever he was doing. And while you was doing that, you looking at the girl and, you know, and her dad, the supposed dad, and it's just like you get those vibes to where it's like she like that dude. You know what I'm saying? This is before all the shit, you know, I just explained. It was just like, that ain't no mother-daughter shit. I mean, no daddy-daughter shit right there. You know what I'm saying? The father is being fatherly, but you could kind of tell that the girl was kind of looking at him like, I like this dude. So, but at that point in the movie, you like, what's going on here? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? And eventually they show the girl. I don't know what they call. I don't know what you call it. I don't know who the fuck, but they showed her wrapping herself up here, like you see lesbians do. Not lesbians, but I don't want to say no term because I'm not trying to be derogatory. But you know, women that go around as dudes, they'll, you know, well, they used to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody want to be that uncomfortable these days with having to strap yourself, you know, the equivalent of wrapping your dick all between your legs or some shit like that. But she was strapping herself around here. She wrap her breast down. And they showed that from the back of it. And just, I'm like, hey. And that shit, they didn't show, there ain't no nudity or nothing like that. You just see the back with the straps on. She was already strapped up by the time, you know, she was already wrapped up by the time they showed her back or whatnot. But I mean, if you just look at the whole thing, it looked like a little girl with a bunch of fucking straps on and shit. But yeah, they showed that, and they kind of, all right, she's not the kid. You know what I'm saying? She damn sure about 4'5" or whatever the fuck, but it ain't no fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? You kind of figure that even no matter what it looked like on the screen, because you have to keep putting that shit in your head that that's not a kid. That is a grown ass fucking woman, which is what the mom had said. The mom had said, "You're a grown ass woman." You know what I'm saying? And then they ended up going back to the house, and they had to go through this whole little, they got to play this whole role. The mom obviously told the brother, because the brother came into her room while she was in there minding her own goddamn business. And he was like, because the brother's the asshole out of all of this. You know what I'm saying? The mom is fucked up too, but the brother is fucked up worse than the mom is. So he went into the room and was like, I know you're not my sister, because I killed her. Yeah. It was like he didn't give a fuck that he killed his sister. I don't think they went into detail of how that whole little thing happened, but it was one of them things that where I don't know. Like I said, this movie was disappointing. So it could have been very interesting, but it was fucking disappointing. And he was like, yeah, you 30 years old. And I'm like, that's shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because apparently she's a fugitive from some other country. You know what I'm saying? She's fugitive from some other country. I don't, do they go into detail about that? No, not really. They just let that was the leverage that they was holding over her, that they can, just kind of turn her in and all kind of other stuff, But like I say, they left a whole bunch of stuff just kind of flat. You know what I'm saying? It's just that movie would have to have like a pretty long runtime, but the way that it was set up, it's like you got to figure out, okay, what the fuck can happen out of all of this? You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't explain a lot of shit. You got this grown ass woman posing as a preteen in a house, like literally posing as a preteen in a house, and the preteen has a crush on the dad. And then once the mom had figured out that the preteen had a crush on the dad, she was like, well, we can't have this in the fucking house. He's gonna try to kill the girl. Which don't make no sense, because okay, how you gonna just kill a girl? And the dad, like I say, the dad is out of it. You know what I'm saying? He don't know what the fuck is going on. He's just doing his own goddamn thing, day-to-day life type of shit. All this shit is going on under his nose, behind his back. As far as he know, that's his goddamn daughter. You don't know that the son and the mom killed the other fucking girl. They've been keeping that from him for I don't know how many years. So it's you're like, okay, what the fuck is gonna happen? So they was like, we gotta kill her. So they go back to the house. The son and the fucking mom, they go back to the house. They were like, we gotta kill her. So they going up to kill the girl. They can't even kill the goddamn girl. Little tiny ass girl. It's a grown ass dude and a grown ass woman. They can't kill this goddamn girl in the fucking house. So they go in. They I think this was after she tried to poison the girl. Because they had cooked dinner and they made all this stuff and they made her something different. And she had put something in the food. And the girl had like a pet rat in the house. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. The girl had like a pet rat in the house that was right at the grate in her room or whatever. So she put the food down there so the rat could eat it, because she didn't want to eat it. And the fucking rat ate it. And the next day, she got up and half of the food was gone. But the rat was dead, and that was like her pet, so she was pissed. She was like, "My rat dead. That bitch tried to poison me." So, because they showed you try to, So the next morning, she went down there and made this woman a shake. I made you, hey mom, because everybody's in the room, so they got to play the role. Hey mom, I made your favorite shake, with flaxseed and all kind of whatever the fuck. And the mom was like, I don't want that shit. And the dad was like, well, shit, I'll take it. I'll drink it. And she was like, no, I made it specially for mom and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, and the dad was like, well, go ahead and drink it. She made it especially for you and blah, blah, blah. So she was like, yeah, all right. She'll taste it. So she like took it and walked towards the kitchen sink and just did like a quick little, and then she went to pour it out at the fucking sink. And the rat was in the fucking shake. And then nobody else know, because she poured it out like in the sink, and the big rat went down with the fucking in the garbage disposal, and she kind of, so she drank it. She saw the rat. I was like, oh man, well, see, that's what you get for trying to poison that goddamn girl. Shit. And I think all the other shit happened after that one with the fucking. It's a bunch of other stuff, not a bunch, but some other stuff happened longer goddamn way. Not a lot, trust me. And where they tried to kill the girl and they couldn't kill the girl. And her and the brother was scrambling around while the mom was talking to the dad. Because dad had went off somewhere on a train. And they had lost track of the little girl. They had went to go do something with the little girl. I think that's where when the mom started getting into the, I don't even remember that fucking girl name, started getting into her about what was going on. Like we ain't, basically we gonna have to be done with this shit. And the girl ran off. She took off. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Got in the car. She ended up snatching the mom keys, ran off, got in the car and drove off. Mom called the police. Girl just driving or whatever, just like, so stupid. She's just driving in the fucking Range Rover, and the police end up catching up with her. I don't know where the fuck she was going. So the police end up catching up with her, and they brought her back to the fucking house. And that's where the actual trying to kill shit started. You know, where they was actually gonna like physically just kind of kill her. And then the girl, the dad had that, because the police had called the dad too, because you know it's a little fucking preteen, so they called both the parents. And the dad was like, well, he coming back. So dad was coming back. He's supposed to been gone for a good while, because he was going out of town on the train. So he ended up getting on another train coming the fuck back. While this shit is going on at the house, they fighting. The boy and the girl, the boy's fucking asshole, you know what I'm saying? So she ended up stabbing the fuck out of him. Just like she was stabbing that dude at the other, but she started stabbing your ass, she ain't gonna fucking stop. And the mom was talking to the dad on the fucking phone, trying to delay the shit. She was like, well, if you come, when you get back, just take a cab, because, you know, I got my hands full here at the house. I don't know how the fuck she was going to try to explain all that shit the fuck off. Like I said, this movie is kind of a mess. It could have been interesting, but it was kind of a mess. So they farting around the house. They get in the kitchen, fighting around over the knife. The mom and the little girl fighting around. They drop the knife, blah, 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 some other shit. Fire start on the stove in the house. And mom just walked by the shit and went upstairs to get the girl. The girl had went up the stairs, out the fucking window, was out on the fucking side of the house, going up on the roof and shit to get away from him. And the mom went up there after her, you know what I'm saying? Because she seen that she had killed the boy, and she was out of it then. So, long story not short enough, they both end up hanging off the roof, because the dad had came back and seen the house was on fuck. I mean, at this point, the whole fucking mansion is on fucking fire. How a fire spread that evenly over that whole fucking mansion is like, you just, whatever, dude. They just wanted to have some big giant fire. They on top of the fucking house, fighting around and doing whatever the fuck they was with each other, where they both end up hanging off the roof. And the dad saw a bunch of shit going on up there, so he go in this fucking burning up ass house, ended up going out the window and up the roof, and they both hanging there next to each other, trying to convince the dad to, you know, she was like, she's not your daughter, and she said something about the mom and try to get, so, but the mom ended up falling. The mom ended up falling. So she fell off. She's laying down there dead on the ground. Ain't nothing. And then, to show you how this shit go, the dad was like, you're not my daughter. He went through that shit, sit up on the roof, and I think she might have pushed him off. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I don't know who you are. You're not my daughter, and all this other shit. And she ended up pushing him off the fucking roof. So, and he ended up laying like specifically or suspiciously just close to the, like, he like laying right next to the damn wife. I'm just like, really, dude? So they both dead. Everybody in the house is dead. That whole family's dead except for the little intruder girl, whatever the fuck. I can't think of her name. So the whole house is on fire. They show this girl just casually walk out of this whole fucking house. She already up on the roof of this big fucking manor, this big mansion. They show her walking down. She just walking out the house. I think she went and looked at some pictures and shit. The house is on fucking fire. Everything. You know, the walls, the ceiling, everything is on fire. And it's just this stupid ass path of non-fire that leads out the fucking house from where the fuck she was, which is very unlikely. You know what I'm saying? In a big fucking mansion that size, it is just gonna be just a lane of shit that ain't on fire till you just walk out the fucking house. So but she took her time. She just walked on out the house. And that was it. That was fucking it. Right after they showed her walking out the house, because I think that at that point the fire department people was out there, whatever. She just walked out the fucking front door of the house. You know, at that point, it's just like she wouldn't be able to even breathe in that fucking house. You know, it's this movie shit. She would have passed out from the heat itself. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't no oxygen to breathe in that motherfucking house. But she walked right out that fucking house. And then they cut to the counselor at the beginning. And they were saying how it's a pity and blah, blah, blah. They gonna try to find her another family. And then they just showed her in the frame. And that was it. You know, it could have been. It could have been some shit going on in this movie. You know what I'm saying? You could have went Creepville. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, the dad didn't know that wasn't his daughter. He didn't know that was a 30-year-old ass woman. You know? And it could happen. Girl, look, I mean, it was mighty because they kept calling her a freak and dwarf and all kind of other shit. I don't know the exact definition of all that shit. But it was it looked like a fucking preteen. She looked like she was well under fucking 5 feet. But she wasn't like all stubby and shit. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a little fucking preteen girl. So, but you know, like I said, anybody can have whatever age in the fucking movie. It probably was like a little teenage somebody, but they were just playing. But you know, then that'd be another reason why they can't just push limits. Because if you got a minor actor playing that role, which is fine, you can't have no weird shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you had some 21, 25-year-old person that looked like that playing in the movie, then you can push some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because those pedal vibes was there, but it was like in reverse. You know, it was in reverse. It wasn't like this dude saw this little girl and he wanted her. It was like this little girl wanted this old ass dude. So, you know, it's a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, at this point, I would have welcomed that. You know what I'm saying? I would have welcomed that. Something else needed to happen in this fucking movie. I don't give a what is pedophilia, whatever the fuck. Have something else interesting happen in this movie because a lot of shit got left the fuck out. Have it to where the brother would have had wouldn't already knew that wasn't his fucking sister, but being like, yeah, she's kind of nice, man, blah, 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 which is kind of weird to put in the movie since who the hell she's supposed to been impersonating, even though he know that ain't her. But still, he knew that was a 30-year-old woman. You know, it's a lot that you could have did without just going off the fucking weird end or just skirting it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it was probably a lot of shit on the drawing table. You know what I'm saying? When they was making this movie, all the shit I mentioned was probably somewhere in the storyboard before they had to like narrow shit down to where it is now, to where they probably just didn't want to make a movie like that because people they probably get a lot of backlash. That's understandable, but you know, you gotta push it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta push it. Hell, they made Big Mouth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got, what's that goddamn I can't think of it, Dolls or whatever that movie that was on Netflix with them little damn near preteen girls in there twerking and shaking their ass and doing all kind of shit. They got that shit. But they, you know, like I said, you get backlash. I don't know if Big Mouth got backlash, but Big Mouth is basically about fucking kids and sex. That's what it is. Hell, you see a fucking it's a cartoon, but still you see a fucking preteen penis in there in the first fucking episode. So shit. I'm like, go for it, man. Just do it. If you're gonna do it, do it. Because this movie just got, you know, just from the premise itself, you can't avoid none of that shit. You got some 30-year-old woman that looked like a little 11-year-old kid that got a crush on a 50-something-year-old ass man. Because essentially, that's what broke all this shit down. Other than the fact that they, you know, the brother killed the sister like way long time ago, and she was impersonating the little girl. But, you know, that was the turning point. When the mom realized that little girl, you know, she liked the dad, that's what turned everything on his goddamn head more than it already was. You know, and then the whole thing is kind of stupid. It's wasn't thought through. At least in my novice opinion, you know what I'm saying? I don't know shit about writing stories, making movies, or none of that goddamn shit. Look what the fuck I'm making. I'm sitting here in the dark. Making, doing a review of this shit, but still, I'm like, even me, I'm like, yeah, it's something missing. It's something missing. And I still got some time before my day starts, so I might hop on YouTube and watch a couple of reviews and see what people thought about the movie, and just kind of validate myself a little bit. That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to validate myself a little bit, where I'm like, man, let me see what the fuck. Let me see. I mean, because I like that when I'm watching a movie, I have my own little things, and then I watch a movie review or analysis or whatever the fuck, and they start pointing out shit that I'm seeing, so I know I'm not just sitting there making, pulling shit out of my ass. I'm like, oh, they saw the same thing I did. I feel validated. Woo! Validation. But yeah, that's not now. Smile, I would probably recommend for people that like that type of shit. Orphan is one of those movies I can't even recommend watching, because I don't know. That's not it's not horror. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just not something that you would just point to somebody to watch, unless it was something specific you wanted them to see in that movie. I know people that would like Smile because they just, in general, a fan of that genre. This shit here, no. This is not horror, because people like horror. You know what I'm saying? And people that like horror movies pretty much like a broad, it's like a broad little spectrum that they would like. This shit is, Orphan is just like, I thought it was gonna be some creepy ass shit. No, it's not a creepy ass movie or no shit like that. It's just a family turmoil movie. That's best I can come up with. It's about family. It's about some shit with some family drama, and everybody end up dead at the end. Even the dad, and the dad was the innocent one out of everybody in that fucking movie, and he died too. That's two movies I watched that had a shitty ending. That's two shitty ending movies I done watched. At some point today, I'm gonna have to pick a movie with a happy fucking ending. Everything gonna have to turn out right in the end. God damn it. So that's it for now. It's early morning. I am freezing in this house right now. I'm gonna find me some clothes to put on, sit in front of my heater, and see if I can get through this day with a leg up. So we'll catch y'all later. Bye.